All right, what's up, guys? TD City Podcast doing the annual Super Bowl predictions till one of us is dead. Me, myself, I am 3-4. My three correct ones, we'll just do that because I'm not gonna sit here and label all 7 Super Bowls. I got the Rams versus the Bengals, the Chiefs versus the Eagles the first time, Super Bowl 56, Super Bowl 57, and the Chiefs versus the Niners, Super Bowl 58. Detroit, my man, also on this podcast, 3-4.
Was up?
He predicted the first time we ever did this Super Bowl 53, Patriots over the Rams. He got that right. And he got, what's your second one? Rams over Bengals, Super Bowl 56
Rams
was
over
the second one.
Bengals.
And then
Yep.
he also got the Chiefs over the Niners, Super Bowl 58.
Yep.
We both got last year's wrong. We both picked the Chiefs. But the fun fact here is we have been doing this on Madden because one of these days I'll buy a PC. I promise next year.
He said that the last 3 years, but sure.
But even if I had a PC, we would still do it on Madden because Madden itself is 3-0 at predicting the Super Bowl. They predicted the Chiefs to beat the Eagles the first time around. They predicted the Chiefs to beat the Niners the second time around. And then last year, while we both picked the Chiefs, they picked the Eagles, this Madden simulation. So this is fun. So since we've been doing it, Madden's actually 3-0, something we have never
Yep.
done, Detroit. So we'll see. Maybe.
Well, first things first from my end. I just want to say congratulations to you, Mr.
Yeah, oh,
Noah
yep.
Manning, and your Seahawks.
If y'all
for,
don't know, I've lived my majority of my life in Washington. I've been in New York since 2023, but I am a Washington native. Seahawks, Mariners, anything Seattle sports, I am a fan of. And the Seahawks, I'll let you have it, Detroit. But
Didn't even mention the Kraken, but it's okay.
I don't watch hockey. Sorry, guys. But yeah, go Kraken. And bring back the Supersonics.
You know what? Listen, maybe I'll get to experience what a Super Bowl
A
is.
Super Bowl feels like. You were close.
Time in my life.
You were close 2 years ago.
Yeah, but you know what? We're wrapping up year 68 and we're going on to year 69 in a row. So nice. Sam Darnold running the ball.
Oh my God! What
Look
the
at him
heck
go.
was that?
Anyways, so started off. This will be the 4th time the Seattle Seahawks are in the Super Bowl.
And may I stop you
And-
right there and just say, we should really, in fact, be 3-0 in Super Bowls because Super Bowl 40 was terribly rigged, and Super Bowl 49, we all know what happened. All right,
I don't know
continue,
what
Detroit.
you're talking about. That game was perfectly officiated
Oh, yeah,
because it was in
perfectly.
Detroit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, why is Charbonnet in here? Ignore that, guys.
But the crazier statistic
Yep,
is that the Patriots, this is their 12th Super Bowl appearance,
that is insane.
which means they have appeared in 20% of all Super Bowls,
That is crazy.
which is scary. So, again, you know what? Maybe they should share
And you want to know something,
that
too?
with some of the rest of the league, you know.
You should cherry pick that stat because their first Super Bowl wasn't until then 1996 with Drew Bledsoe, I want to say. So if you really do it since
So it's been
1996,
30 years and they've appeared in
12
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Well, you want to... So that
Dang.
means they've appeared in 40%
Roughly, yeah.
of the 30... No, it's 40% of the last 30 years Super Bowl. That's still crazy.
That is insane, yeah.
Yep. So... We have seen this matchup before in the Super Bowl. Mr. Yolo Manning remembers that very vividly.
Oh, yeah. That was the day I almost ended it all.
Yeah, as we were on the 1-yard line, and Marshawn Lynch was in the backfield, and Russell Wilson decided to throw the ball into the end zone to a waiting Malcolm Butler, who now does not play in the NFL.
And Russell Wilson was on the Epstein files.
He's not convicted because it was for him buying a plane or attempting to buy a plane, which he didn't buy. But you know what?
Smith and
He
Ja-
is-
oh, look
he
at
is
look
there.
at this, Detroit. Look at where they're at. You think they run it or pass
Are they
it?
on the 1-yard line?
You think they run it or pass it? What?
Well, you know what? They got K9 in the backfield, which means they're definitely gonna throw the ball.
Well, here's the thing too. They don't have a Marshawn Lynch like bully back.
do
Charbonnet
not.
was their back,
Yeah.
and see, this is
Well,
sort
we
of
gotta
unrealistic.
Watch this play, see what
Charbonnet
they
has a
actually
torn
do.
ACL. They ran the ball. Oh my God! Can you imagine they did that 11 years ago? Can you imagine? Oh my
I can.
God!
They would have won the Super Bowl, but they
Oh my.
didn't. So, we are recording this on Tuesday, February 3rd. So these are the spreads
Okay.
at the time of this. Right
4.5
now,
Seattle.
Seahawks are favored by 4.5. And the money line is Seahawks are minus 235. Um, Pats are plus 194, and the over/under is 45.5 points.
Oh, and I think we
These odds come from a certain app that has the letters F and D. We are not
It's
sponsored, so I
similar
will
to
not say their
DraftKings
name.
too.
We are not sponsored by them either.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. So yeah, we'll get to some more fun betting props later. But Mr. Yola Manning, this is your team, so why don't you talk about what has been going on with the Seahawks this year?
An incredible year. I would like to start out by saying, ending last year when we traded Geno Smith, I never believed in Geno Smith. I mean, his final year was not good. So when we traded him for a third and whatever else we traded for him, I just remember it was a third and something else. I was happy. Then we went and signed Sam Darnold, and I'll be honest right now, I did not believe in him. I did not. I saw his days in the Jets. I saw him with the Panthers. He looked good with the Vikings. I thought it was an all system. But then I saw his contract and I'm like, whatever. You know what? It ain't that bad. I sort of like it because, fun fact, if you didn't know this, Detroit, let's just say he had a terrible year this year and then Seahawks didn't make the playoffs. They could have voided his entire contract at the 4 years he signed.
Very nice.
So that, after hearing that, I'm like, you know what? This ain't that bad. And everyone was gassing him up. I've seen on Twitter during the regular season. I was not the biggest fan of him in the regular season. He had 25 touchdowns to 20 turnovers. And people were gassing him up like how he's playing in the playoffs. Keep in mind, he's playing fantastic in the playoffs. Honestly, probably
He's
best
got
playoff quarterback right now?
407 passing yards in the postseason. Pretty
Oh yeah,
damn
no
good.
turnovers, not a fumble, not an interception. He's literally a completely different quarterback in the playoffs. The way people were gassing him in the regular season is how they should be gassing him in the playoffs. We've lost 3 times this year. Darnold was the reason in all 3 losses. But hey, we're 14-3. He's the only quarterback in NFL history to have back-to-back 14-win seasons, and he did it with 2 different teams. Defense, this is very scary in terms of how the Legion of Boom was scary. Number 1 in points per game. Or sorry, number 1
in
scoring defense. Yep. We were number 1 against the run, and our defense was number 1 against wide receivers and their receiving rate. I think it was 69.5. Devin Witherspoon, PFF rated number 1 corner in 2025. DeMarcus Lawrence, outside of his missed sack on Stafford last week, he's really impressed me during this playoffs. He has 2 sacks, and that final drive where Stafford had the ball, a lot of people don't know this. His first read was Kyren Williams, who would have been wide open if DeMarcus Lawrence didn't go back and cover him, right? Instead of blitzing like a lot of people would, he dropped back and it saved a touchdown. So he made up for him missing that Stafford sack. Nick Emmanwori might just be Defensive Rookie of the Year. He probably won't get it, but great season. Kobe Bryant, since transitioned into safety, which he could cover the slot also. Great year. Reek Woolen almost made me commit murder. Sorry, YouTube. But he's been a great corner.
Commit unalive.
Yep.
We'll edit that.
Outside of the first 4 weeks of the season, because he was very terrible those first 4 weeks, don't get me wrong, he has stepped it up. Byron Murphy, I feel like he improved from his rookie season. This defense it's been great. I mean, we haven't had a defense this good since 2014. The last year we were in the Super Bowl. Or if you could even say 2015, because the year we lost to the Panthers in the divisional, we were still the number 1 scoring defense. Denver had the number 1 rated defense, but we were the number 1 scoring defense in 2015. But this defense is insane. I feel like if we're comparing this defense to the Legion of Boom, I just feel like obviously the Legion of Boom secondary is unmatched, but just in terms of just our interior 7, I like this. I like our front 7 of this defense better than the Legion of Boom. That's for the defense side of the ball. Would you like to talk about the Seahawks now, Detroit?
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
So looking up some of their stats from Pro Football Reference and ESPN, as I mentioned before, they were the best total defense according to Pro Football Reference. Some say it was the Texans. You could honestly put them 1 and 2 interchangeable. They were both incredible.
And Texans.
17.2 points per game allowed. That was the best in the league.
Hey, look where the
286
Patriots
yards
are.
per game. Nope. Patriots allowed 18.8 points per game. They were fourth best, actually.
Oh, I'm talking about they're on the 1-yard line.
Oh.
What's this? What is Madden trying to tell us?
That there's going to be a 1-yard line play, and again, we will revisit this in the prop bets. So 286 yards
gonna
per
throw
game
it.
allowed, sixth best.
Oh my God.
Great touchdown defense. Only 29 touchdowns allowed. Only 5 rushing touchdowns allowed by the Seahawks defense. That's very
Yeah.
impressive. And then 92 rush yards per game, that's third in the league, and then 194 passing yards per game, that's 10th. And now, Seahawks are an incredible defense, but the Pats are no slouch. That is mainly the reason that they are here as well, along with their easy schedule.
Which is
won't talk
crazy to
about
think,
that.
Detroit. But can you tell me in the regular season how many above 500 teams did that defense play?
Oh, I wonder. Was it only a couple? Was it it was 3, right?
Yeah, I want to say they played the Steelers, who they lost to.
Mm-hmm.
They played the Bills, who they went 1-1 versus. And then that's the only 500 teams they played all season.
Yep, and then they played the Jets and the Dolphins twice.
Yep,
each.
the Jets, the Dolphins twice. Yep.
So you know what? Congrats to you know what? I won't knock them too hard because Drake May did get me a fantasy championship into another fantasy Super Bowl. Which, by the way, I've been in every Super Bowl in our fantasy football league except one.
Except for like 2, I think. Yep.
1 or 2.
Yep.
So, to those who are watching who are in our fantasy league, draft better, please. Give me some competition. But anyways, Pats defense, no slouch. They're the 4th best total defense by Pro Football Reference. 296 yards per game allowed, 8th best in the league. 18.8 points per game, as I mentioned before, 4th best. A little bit more on the touchdowns allowed, 36 touchdowns allowed. But they also were pretty good in the pass defense, 194 yards allowed per game, and then 102 rushing yards per game allowed. So when people say offense wins games, defense wins championships, it's still true to this day. As much as this offensive nature has taken over the league, the top, I want to say the final 4 teams had all top 10 defenses.
Yep.
So it's still very much a defensive game. Lions what? So yeah. But
I feel like
there is still an offense on this
oh yeah.
on these teams. And as you mentioned before, Sam Darnold had a pretty good season, not fully to your liking because he did lose a couple of games, but he still had a great 4,000 yards passing. And fun fact about Mr. Sam Darnold here, he is the 3rd player in history, I don't know the other 2, but I heard this on the radio this morning.
Yep.
He's the 3rd player in history to quarterback a Super Bowl team on his 5th team.
Ooh, really?
Yes. So
on his 5th team.
On his 5th team.
That's
Jets,
insane.
Panthers,
the Niners, the Vikings.
Niners for 2 seconds. The Vikings and the Seahawks.
He's the first quarterback from the stacked 2018 draft class that featured Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and then the GOAT Josh Rosen. He's the first one to start a Super Bowl. Start, because remember, he did go when he backed up Purdy.
Yep, that's true. But yeah, I guess. Well, technically, he would still be the first person to.
Yeah, he's still.
Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Which we haven't even spoke about JSN, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the first
JSN. Incredible. Best receiver in the league, in my opinion, for this year.
For this year, as a Seahawks fan, as much as I love JSN, I would have to say Puka slightly, even though JSN outperformed him in NFC Championship. Puka's final receptions were garbage time.
Mhm.
That's the only reason he had more receiving yards. But Puka missed a game and a half, almost 2 games, and he only had under 50 receiving yards less than JSN. Which I'm
Mhm.
not trying to knock JSN. I would just, if I'm doing the NFL all first team, I would slide Puka just a tad over JSN. But JSN had a fantastic season. I have his jersey, in fact. Great season for
True
JSN.
fan. True
Yep.
fan. Sidebar. I saw Jelani Tavai still on the Patriots. I don't know why he's still in the league. Um,
I could say the same
that
thing
was
about
just a
Anthony
sidebar.
Bradford.
Um, anyways. And then as you mentioned before, Charbonnet out, so that is going
Yep.
to be a slight problem.
He had
However,
12 rushing
K9
touchdowns.
is very much he's an incredible running back.
And if he has a good
I
game,
unfortunately did have to watch him in college.
Michigan State, yep.
I did go to that Michigan State game where he had 5 touchdowns, and as a Michigan alum, that was not fun.
And he is on a
But
contract year, so if he has a good Super Bowl, who knows, wins MVP or something, Seattle has to give him the contract. Like, this
mhm.
is gonna be a make it break it for
What
him.
was that pass?
Yeah, that was a bad pass.
I don't know what that was. Christian Gonzalez locked down right there.
Yep.
But Pat's offense, they were not as effective
In the
as the
playoffs?
Seahawks, but that's because again they were playing poor teams, but they also you know
Can you
what?
imagine
Oh,
he gets this?
he's
Ooh.
nope. But Drake May did have a great year. He's going to be runner up in
Runner
MVP.
up, which by the
I
way,
don't
while you're
understand how people think he is the MVP. Stafford is
Oh yeah,
far and away.
Stafford 100%. I'm
Yep.
curious.
Hmm.
I'm gonna chat GPT this MVP runner up record in Super Bowl.
While you do that, they have Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson, both solid backs. Not like grade A, I'd say. Solid B tier running backs. Henderson finished with 911 total rushing yards. So not great, but he's still effective. And again, I did have to watch Travion Henderson in college. That was not fun. Actually, no, it was fun. I'm sorry, because we beat Ohio State a lot. That was fun. And Stephon Diggs, surprised he's still playing in this game, but he is the team's leading receiver. We
Yep.
shall see
And
what happens after.
I honestly
Uh,
think too. Um, I just feel like, sorry to cut you off. I just feel like Seattle's better, literally everywhere outside of quarterback.
I could see that.
Every
I
single
could agree
position.
with that. Yeah. No, Drake May's had a incredible year, and like I said, he won me a fantasy championship. So
But look
I
who
will
he's
thank
faced.
him for that. I'm also we were talking offline about this, but I had K9 and Charbonnet, and I could not start either of them because K9 would get all the yards, and then Charbonnet would just steal the touchdown,
And
and then they would both
occasionally
finish with 9
Charbonnet,
points.
yep, would have. I think Charbonnet had a few 100-yard games where you're just like, dang, is he going to be the starter? Or is it
Mhm.
K9? They both complement each other very well, which sucked when
Mhm.
Charbonnet, tore his ACL.
Yes. But it's those Big Ten running backs.
Yep.
I'm telling you, they're crazy. Um, yeah, Miss Charbonnet on Michigan, but
Which,
then I
by the
hate Blake
way,
Corum, so I'm okay.
Seattle's defense has been terrible versus tight ends. So, if you want to put in your bet, speaking of which, who Hunter Henry just caught a pass. Hunter Henry, anytime touchdown, it looks like a good bet. They are
That
terrible
would
versus
be a
tight
good
ends.
bet. So, um, you mentioned before the turnovers that Darnold has had.
He hasn't had one in the
Uh,
postseason. He has been a
he
completely
has
different
not had
quarterback.
one in the postseason, which is good, but he has not. Well, no, they play the Rams, so they were played against a good defense. But they did finish with a -3 turnover margin, which is 21st in the league, and the Pats not much better, but it was a +3 turnover margin, so that's 10th in the league. So it was very tight within the rankings this year. So um, yeah. So that's all the stats I've got. I don't know if you've got any other stats that you want to mention.
Not really a stat, but I've done this before. Obviously, people know I'm a Seahawks fan if you've watched the channel for years. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Seahawks, but I just would like to talk about this Patriots team. Now, I'm not calling them garbage by any means, but I think this is the most luckiest run I have ever seen in my life. First of all, they had the easiest schedule going into the season, right? They lost to the Raiders week 1. I want to say they lost to the Steelers either week 2 or week 3. And then they lost to the Bills. They choked the lead the second time to the Bills. So they were 14-3 going into this playoffs. They faced the Chargers, which, they had it's playoff Justin Herbert. He chokes a lot. That offensive line was terrible for him. That their Joe Alt was out. They had another
Yeah,
offensive
it doesn't
lineman
help when you
out.
have Joe Alt out and Rashawn Slater is not 100%.
So whatever,
So
they win that game. They go on to face Houston, and C.J. Stroud, who I've always liked. I always thought he was better than Bryce Young. I always liked him. He had I think I want to say, outside of Nathan Peterman's game when he first started versus the Bills, worst quarterback performance I've ever seen in my life. How many turnovers and fumbles did he have? Like 2 picks, 3 fumbles? Like, I'm not kidding. I think he had 4 interceptions, and I want to say he had 2 fumbles. I think C.J. Stroud ended that game with 6 turnovers.
yep, it was not a great showing. Also, correction, Rashawn Slater did not play this year. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But they also had Joel out.
Yeah, so they had both tackles out. So yeah,
And then
yeah, Stroud was not good.
And then after that, Bo Nix, who had a great season, broke a bone in his ankle, which was crazy in itself. Which, by the way, I want to come back to that Bills Broncos game for my Super Bowl prediction. If you can remind me, Detroit, it also has a key factor in my Super Bowl prediction. So they faced Jared Stidham in a very poorly weathered game, and they won 10-7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
10-7. Which, by the way, I think Tony Romo mentioned this, so I'm sort of copying off Tony Romo, but he basically said, "Look at this, they're at the 1 yard line again. What is this? What are they trying to tell us?"
I don't know.
It's different from being a couch fart, looking at that game, being like, "Dang," than being on the field and being a quarterback, seeing through that. The Patriots had away uniforms; they were in white. So imagine being Jarrett Stidham. You're throwing to your orange receiver, right? And you can't really see because the snow, and then their teams blend in with the blizzard. Obviously, I'm not trying to make all the excuses, right? But you're already facing a backup quarterback. You just beat him only by 3 points, 10-7. Whereas if you look at Seattle's playoff run, they had to face the Niners, right? Who, yes, they also didn't have Kittle. Then they had to face the Rams, MVP Stafford, who they always play Seattle good. Which that game wouldn't have been as close if it wasn't for Tariq Woolen's penalty. I just would like to say that.
They also did have playing a team a third time also is extremely tough.
Oh yeah, and it's a division opponent.
Yeah.
And then
Vikings ran into that last year with the Lions.
If you factor what I just said too, they're 4-2, right, against 500 teams, but 3 of those were the games I just mentioned, the playoffs. They have not faced good teams this year, and when they did face good teams, there was like a legitimate excuse, like the team's playing their backup quarterback. The other team's quarterback had the worst showing of all time, and then the other one, I guess, is Justin Herbert and his offensive line.
Yep. So, controller was disconnected.
Sorry about that.
So. Alright, so before we get to our predictions, I got some fun prop bets. Kind of want to start this for next, see how this goes.
Yep.
Kind of, we can revisit this. So, obvious one, start with the coin toss. So, tails leads all time 31-28. So, what do you got, heads or tails?
I'll say heads.
I'm a heads guy as well.
Pause.
So, pause.
Sorry. Okay, continue.
All right. Now, the length of the national anthem. So the line is 125 seconds. It is the over is favored at -150. The singer is Charlie Puth.
Should, honestly, I fuck with his music. Honestly, would have been a better Super Bowl halftime than Bad Bunny, but that's another discussion.
That's your opinion. I love Bad Bunny.
Oh heck no.
So we're gonna.
Podcast is over.
Podcast is over. Listen, I'm just glad we got a nice American artist to sing Uh,
So you're saying you would have rathered Bad Bunny over Metallica?
absolutely. I've seen
What?
Metallica live and I love them, but Bad Bunny is also the most popular artist in the world.
I did
I'm
not know
just
that.
saying.
I did not know that.
He is.
I could not name one of his songs.
You will when you hear it. So you've got 4 days to start learning Spanish, buddy.
Yep.
Um, anyways, length of the anthem, over or under 125 seconds.
I
Charlie
typically
Puth.
do not know how long those go for, but just for the sake of the video, I'll say over.
That is the favorite, and usually they do like to go over, so I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Say over. All right. This is a fun one.
Yep.
So the jersey number of the first touchdown scorer, is it, the line is 10.5. So anybody with the jersey number 10 or under, if they're the first touchdown scorer, that that'll hit, and then
Oh,
11 and
really?
over.
Because Kenneth
Yes.
Walker is number 9, Jackson Smith and
Kenneth
Jigba's 11.
K9. So you've got K9, Keishawn Butte, Stephon Diggs, and Drake May.
Ooh, I think
Those
I
are
would.
your four.
I would. I would
The
assume the
over's
overs.
favored.
Yeah, just because. I would take the under just because I feel like K9 is very doable on that, and then you also have those other players you just mentioned, Drake May,
hmm
Diggs.
I do like, if the Patriots are gonna score, it's probably, no, I think it might be Hunter Henry, honestly. So you're taking the over or the under?
I would take the under just because
Because of K9.
because the odds, and K9 is the most likely. He's probably the most favored for first touchdown score.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take the under just because you win more money on that.
Yeah.
This game might also be going to
Um,
overtime, 4th and 2. Look at this.
I will. I'll take the over on that one. There's a lot more options out there. Um, it is basically a pick 'em,
Oh
but
my.
it was a it was an interesting pass. It is 10-7 again.
Yep.
Just a
So
heads up.
Madden's
All
going to be
right.
wrong.
Will Chris Collinsworth mention Mahomes?
No,
That
I
is
don't think he
minus
does.
190.
As a no,
Minus 190 that he will mention Mahomes.
I'm gonna say no. He don't mention him. But he
Really?
might talk
Okay.
about last year's Super Bowl.
I think he will mention Mahomes indirectly somehow. He will talk about either last year's Super Bowl, or he's gonna be, or Drake May is gonna do something. He's gonna be like, "That's a little Mahomey." Next one. I'm surprised the odds are this low. Actually, it's minus 175 for Chris Collinsworth to say, "Now here's a guy."
I don't think we were talking about this before we made the video. I am very upset. Chris Collinsworth is commentating the Super Bowl. I don't
hmm
like Brady as a commentator. I love Tony Romo as a commentator, but Chris Collinsworth is the worst commentator I've ever seen. He is so annoying. He just glazes whatever guy is doing somewhat good and says, "Only this guy can do that." It is so annoying,
hmm
and once he's finally gone, his son sounds exactly like him and will probably take his place. Ooh, Seattle might stop him here.
hmm
So I just had to let that
This,
out.
yeah.
And he also
No.
commentated Super Bowl 49, the 1 yard line, so that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Well, I am a big fan of Mike Tirico.
Oh, Tirico ain't bad.
He lives in Michigan, so he's also a very good commentator. But pairing him with Collinsworth is interesting, to say the least. Um, so minus 175 to say now here's a guy. I'm gonna say he definitely says that. I think those odds are pretty good, surprisingly.
He honestly probably will. It would
Yeah.
not surprise me if he'll probably mention Brady. He'll probably mention
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes.
Yep.
He'll say a bunch of
Um,
stupid stuff.
Yep. Will Chris Collinsworth say Nick Amenamori's last name wrong? That is plus 150.
That he will. Yeah,
Yes.
I wonder if he looks at these odds and just tells a friend like, "Listen, I'm gonna say it right.
Yeah.
Go bet $5 grand on no."
Yeah.
Or
I think no. He's probably gonna have to study on this. Because he did have the weird Marcus Mariota pronunciation this year, but
oh,
yeah.
Cooper. We didn't mention Cooper Kupp too, by the way.
We did not mention Cooper Kupp.
Cooper
This
Kupp
is
is playing in his hometown. He grew up in Washington. Went to college in the state of Washington. I can't think of the
mhm.
college. That's why I said the state of Washington. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But he was not a Cougar and he was not a Husky. So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Also, fun stat. I did
Yep.
remember this one from the radio earlier. There are 3 players on each team that have one Super Bowl appearance. Cooper Kupp is one of them.
Cooper
I
Kupp
forget the
is
other
one of them.
5.
For the Patriots, ooh, a Super Bowl appearance. That's good. So Cooper, I'm glad. We do not know this. Ernest Jones for Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2. Cooper Kupp. You want to tell me that other Seahawk? Because I cannot. Oh, Sam Darnold.
I do not remember. I just remember there was that was the number.
Did he have to
on the
play?
radio.
Because Sam Darnold was in the Super Bowl. For the Patriots, though, I'm trying to think.
You have to have to play.
Oh,
Make an
Patriots,
appearance in
Austin
this-
Hooper, Super Bowl 51.
Mhm.
I know that. Defense, offense. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you Austin Hooper for the Patriots.
It's not anybody that was on their that was on the team
Oh yeah,
at
well
that time. So
Austin Hooper played for
Yeah.
the Falcons.
yeah.
when
And
they
then
faced-
last few prop bets. Will Chris Collinsworth misidentify a celebrity? That is plus 550. But apparently he has done that before.
I hope this
so-
game goes to overtime.
Yeah.
Not in real life, but just in the Madden thing.
So that we can talk more.
Oh yeah. You want to give your prediction, or are you doing another prop bet?
Well, these are the last 2 prop bets.
Okay.
This one might sting a little. Will Seattle attempt a pass on the opponent's 1-yard line?
They will not.
They will not.
That is
That is
gotta be
minus
like
1,000.
I was about to say
I'm gonna take the yes just because
a
it
drop
is very
back to
high
a tight
odds.
end or
Plus
something.
550. And I don't know, Madden's saying something with all these 1-yard lines.
They are, dude. Like, what are the odds?
So I was originally gonna take no, but the 1-yard line
Why
has
Cooper
appeared
Kupp
3
didn't go out of
times.
bounds is beyond me.
So-
We didn't even talk about how Seattle had the #1 special teams, by the way. Rashid
Oh, yeah, go
Shaheed,
ahead.
best kick and punt returner, and Jason Myers, I want to say, is the most accurate kicker this season. Does not have the leg though. Also, what is Seattle doing? This is
I don't
Madden.
know, they're burning time here. Jeez.
What, kick the field goal? Question mark? Yo, what are we doing? What are we doing?
No, we're going. They want to win it all.
What the-
They want to win it all, and their New England Patriots win their 8th Super Bowl in Madden.
7th
Jeez.
Super Bowl,
7th Super Bowl. I'm sorry. You're right.
which 2K needs to make Maddens because EA, this is unacceptable. I ain't gonna lie. I can't believe I buy Madden every year just for simulation like this. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah. There's
Orange? It was
Yep.
an orange?
It was orange, and that was my next My next thing. What's the Gatorade color gonna be? Orange is the favorite.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, what's your prediction, Detroit, since
I'm gonna go blue. I'm a blue guy. I think
I,
it's gonna be blue.
I would say if Seattle wins, it's probably going to be blue or green, but if Patriots, I'll just say red.
Okay. Okay, that is the highest odd, or that is the longest odds of plus 1,400. So. All right. I guess it's time for final score and MVP. Right?
You first. Or I'll do
Alright.
I'll do me because everyone
No.
knows I'm a Seahawks fan, so yours is more.
Okay.
I think this game's going to be a blowout. I've said that before and I was wrong. I think Seahawks win 34-10. It gets the under. Kenneth Walker over 120 rushing. He's the first touchdown scorer. He wins the MVP. He has, I'm going to say, 120 rushing with like 70 receiving. Kenneth Walker. It's going to be a blowout. He gets the contract in the offseason. We keep Sam Darnold. We don't avoid his contract. I don't think we'll void it at all anyways now at this point. Also, to add to my prediction, another reason too I want to take Seattle, if you go to DraftKings, 56% of all bets, probably just because they're the underdog, are on the Patriots. Remember when I
Mhm.
mentioned the Bills and the Broncos? Going
I
into
do.
that game, I was shocked that the Bills were underdogs. I just thought the Bills should be favorites, right? It's Josh Allen. I just thought the Bills were the better team.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Bills as underdogs, and 80% of the bets, for whatever reason, wait, no. The Bills were underdogs for whatever reason, but 80% of the bets were on the Bills. So I remember thinking, dang, if the Bills win, Vegas loses. But if the Broncos win, Vegas wins a lot of money because 80%, and that team is the favorite, or sorry, only 20% of the bets are on the favorite, and 80% are on the underdogs. There's something fishy going on here. And then, that catch, which was all
Mm-hmm.
debatable and controversial. So I just wanted to throw that in here. The team that wins, if Seattle wins this game, being a 2-1 favorite, slightly 2.5 or whatever it is favorite, Vegas does win. So that's another thing I want to throw that out there. But my prediction, Seahawks 34-10. Somewhat
Who's it?
blowout, not 43-8 style versus Denver, but still blowout.
Yeah.
All right, Detroit.
So, what's your MVP?
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
There you go. Mine. I'm gonna agree with you. I think this is gonna be a low-scoring game. I definitely think the under is a lock here, so I will probably be taking that under. When I gamble responsibly. Again, please gamble responsibly. Don't bet all your money on a plus 8,000 odd to happen. Yeah, anyways, Seahawks are going to win this one 24-14. I think there's going to be some offense here, surprisingly. I just think Drake May gets a little bit more confident, slings the ball a little bit, but the Seahawks, their defense will stand in the end. And again, this defense wins championships. This is going to hit the under, in my opinion.
And Seahawks, are going to win our second Super Bowl.
Yep. And the Lions will still be at 0. And
I'm sorry. Hey, you just roasted yourself.
I did. Listen, it's basketball and hockey season right now. Listen, the Pistons are the best in the East, and they're on track to meet OKC in the finals. That'll be a fun show. And then the Red Wings, we'll see what happens after March. We're good right now, but March is always a fun time. If you know, you know. But my MVP is Sam Darnold.
Oh.
I think it's very hard to justify.
Yep.
It's very hard to justify giving it to anybody else, just because unless JSN or K9 have an incredible game.
But you've got to figure Gonzalez is going to be locked on
Or
JSN.
there's some incredible defensive showing. Yeah, it's gonna go to the quarterback. So
there you have it. We both got Seahawks. And I guess another thing, too, I'd like to mention, this is probably the best year overall in Seattle sports history. Because, if you don't know, the Mariners are like the Browns of baseball. They're the only team in all of the MLB to never make a World Series. This year, it was the closest they ever made to going to the World Series. And then the same day they lost in Game 7 to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Seahawks beat the Texans, and then they were doing the Mariners dance. So this is for the Seattle Mariners as well.
Yeah.
Also, another thing, I don't know if this is TMI. My Uncle Rob passed away this year. Diehard Seahawks fan. So wholesome that they're going to win the Super Bowl for my Uncle Rob. Sorry, just had to
throw
that up in there. Thank you.
Rest in peace, Uncle Rob. Go win it for him. Go Hawks. I'll give you that. Yeah. You know what?
There we go.
We'll see you guys on Monday when the Patriots win, because Madden predicted it.
Hey, and they are.
And we're all crying.
They are 3-0. If the Patriots win, damn, that is.
If the Patriots win, I don't think we will be using Madden next year.
Yeah,
Let's
we
just
won't.
Say that.
We will not be using Madden next year if that Patriots win.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's been the TD City podcast, guys.
We'll see you guys in another year.
See you
when
in
we
another
decide
year.
to record. So.